Good evening and welcome to tonight's show from DJNTV, Disc Jockey News TV. Tonight's show is brought to you by Electra Voice, DJ Event Planner, DJ Trivia, Odyssey Innovative Designs and Cases, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, and the DJNTV Insiders.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
It's time for Tuesday Night Live Chat with Brian S. Red and John Young. Magic button works, and it did. This is always cool when the button's over. Hey, good evening and welcome to tonight's show here on DJNTV. That is, let's see, what is it? There, Brian Red, the one and only Brian Red is with us tonight. And let's see, there we go, Howie, Darkstar down there. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello. Now, I know there's going to be somebody popping up in comments, perhaps telling us about where our microphone levels are. So I hope they're okay.
Oh, I guess when I looked, I glanced earlier and they looked pretty good.
Well, let's just go.
It'll probably be Jimmy, and he'll be probably complaining about things, and then he's going to complain about the topic for tonight because
I can't hear Howie, and Brian's mic's hot.
Yeah. Let's see
Ooh, look, there's a squirrel.
Yeah, it looks good. Everything's going well. For those of you out there watching on the other Facebook and our multiple YouTube channels, the YouTube channel, oops, I didn't want to click that button. The YouTube channel we're going to be kind of monitoring tonight is the Disc Jockey News one. So I'm going to put the link to that in the chat. So everywhere you guys are, you will be able to see the link right there. Boom. So you guys can jump there if you want to come on out and hang out where the more active chat room is. If you're watching it anywhere else and you're just kind of hanging out by yourself and listening, well, more power to you. So
I'm going to go find that chat right now.
Yeah, it's still showing.
Here we are. And we have the added bonus of John tonight because he's just going to grace us with his presence. I think a lot of you thought it was just going to be Howie and I, but no.
It just turned out the kids went out and did their playing on the lake and such already here. So they were like, yeah, we're just going to hang out. So it's like, well, okay.
Oh, Pete the Hubcap dude is in the chat.
We were just talking about
We're just talking about you.
His ears are probably burning a little bit.
Good to see you.
So Jimmy wanted us to talk a little bit about some of the adventures and maybe sharing a story from past DJ conventions that we have gone to. Each one of us has a little different experience at that. So that's going to be kind of our beginning part of the show, and then after that we'll kind of go in talking about DJ Expo, which is coming up next week in Atlantic City, and we'll talk about that. Then we're going to, let's see, as Howie said, Brian will go off the rails, and then we'll be talking about any and everything after that, which should be in about 6 minutes from what Howie was telling me.
I'll behave myself. I took a nap. I'm not overtired or anything. So.
Yeah, but then you drunk what is it, 40-ounce Locomoco? Or whatever it is. There it is.
There it is.
I just bought him 4 of them today.
Oh my goodness gracious.
4's a start.
Either that'll either keep you awake.
I got the last 4 they had.
Yeah, that's me.
It'll either keep you awake all night or it's going to plug you up good with that. So
it doesn't affect me. It doesn't make me. I can go to sleep and I can drink a 40 of that and go to sleep.
Wow.
That's enough sugar, I think, in there to keep a person up. So
something about, I don't know, my daughter explained it to me. And it's I mean, basically it's mental illness. That is the reason why I can do that.
Yeah, the caffeine doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
Like that.
Caffeine doesn't affect me.
Interesting. Interesting. And I just assumed it
But
from my
nuts.
standpoint. I can drink a coffee and then half an hour later. Well, there's times where I finish my coffee and then go and take a nap if the house is quiet. It
Yeah.
doesn't bother me
You're
whatsoever.
crazy too, John.
I must be.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about if you've got a memory, a story, or something that you guys want to share from my past. I've got a couple of them that would probably fit into Jimmy's criteria for tonight's show.
Oh, I have several.
So Brian, let's start out with yours, because then we can make commentaries on yours.
Well, I remember. Well, I'll just start with a short one here, and it's not a big story, but I'm just thinking about the first DJ Expo I ever attended. It was when it was at what was then the Taj Mahal, and I got checked in, and I went down to the bar, Ego Lounge, EGO, not Eagle, Ego,
yeah.
And I was sitting there. It was kind of quiet, and they had just announced on TV that Rick James died. I remember that was how I kicked off my DJ Expo adventures. So
Well, you're going to keep it upbeat then, right?
yes,
Okay.
yes, I have more celebrity stories.
And they hopefully get better than more motivational, more inspirational.
This one I've told 100 times though, and I've even got a YouTube video to prove it. Same show, my first DJ Expo. This is 2008, which is an August thing, right? So I get real friendly. This is when I right after I had gotten to know Pastor Jay Brandon, a Pioneer. We had just kind of gotten really acquainted the month previous at Mobile Beach, Chicagoland, which was a thing for 30 seconds. And so I get VIP passes at House of Blues for their showcase. And they used to have this showcase. Do you guys remember that? Showcase was at House of Blues, and basically what it was, promo only would contact A&R people, I guess, in New York, Manhattan, New Jersey, and say, hey, look, we're gonna do a showcase. If you want to get an artist up in front of, at the time 4,000 or 5,000 DJs for 3 songs, send them. And they would, and you'd see all these different acts. And we went. I think I at the time I didn't know who a lot of them were, but I got to know who they were. Kim Suzy was one of them. I like her a lot. She did a lot of really good house stuff and EDM stuff back then. And then Cyndi Lauper came up. She had a new song, and there were a bunch. I don't remember who all they were, but we're sitting up, in the VIP area, it's like a balcony, and it's Jay and Christian, aka Pulse, and myself. We're just sitting together. There's no one else with us, and we're watching the show. Everybody else just up there talking, paying no attention. And this girl comes on, and she's really weird. She's got these big glasses, and she's dancing around with this stick with a ball on the top of it. She's got dancers behind her, and she was totally different than everybody else, because everybody else was kind of either EDM or R&B. I think, was it who's the other girl? Not Beyonce, not Kelly Rowland. Who's the other one from
Destiny's Child? I'm not.
Yeah, who's the other one?
Somebody will have it here.
Michelle something, or
just a sec, it'll pop.
Yeah, it's not Kelly Rowland, it's not Beyonce, it was the other one.
Michelle Williams. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Michelle Williams. Yeah, she was one that went up there. But this girl was goofy. It's like, this is kind of cool. I like this. I don't think it'll ever be anything that we'll ever hear in America. I think it'll, at tops is a UK thing, because they do weird stuff over there. We're just not that daring. But I personally like what she's doing. I like her songs, like her performance. And then I remember calling Jay on the phone like 3 weeks later, and I'm like, Jay, you're not gonna believe this. They're playing a Lady Gaga song on my local radio station, because that's who we had seen.
Yeah.
And I called it, and I'm like, wow, okay. So it was somebody, and who knew that it was going to be one of our biggest artists, of this century.
That's an interesting story, because I've heard variations of, it's like, where were you when this big event happened? And, and you hear DJs who are in that room, and saw that performance and had no idea, of course, who she was. And later they all had that. That's her.
Well, here was the funny part. She came out, right, and she did her thing, and I really liked it. Thought it was cool. And then the show went on, and then like at 2 or 3 in the morning, Akon shows up, who was a big deal at the time. And he gets on the microphone, and I think was it Joey Fatone from NSYNC or something like that? Is that his name?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, he was hosting it too. Then Akon comes up and he's like, "I miss Lady Gaga. We're bringing her out again. I like her. She's my girl." And he was producing that album anyway. I just produced this album with her. I'm bringing her out again. So she comes out and does it twice. So it really stuck.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, it stuck the first time for me. It seemed the second time I liked it even more. And,
yeah, I can't remember her name, but I remember seeing her in the Village.
Stephanie Germanowski.
Yeah, and she was playing. She was just a singer-songwriter, carrying a small electric piano, doing a little tiny club in the Village.
Well, she wrote songs for like Britney Spears and all kinds of people. It's not like she had never done business. Nobody ever took her seriously as an artist, and she did her own thing. And holy crap! But she wrote for a lot of people for whatever label that was. I don't remember. That was after I started buying media, so I never saw the labels anymore. But whoever she signed with, that she wrote a lot for them. But that was cool.
Yeah,
that was really cool. I can say that I haven't had an experience like that since. And I attended those shows religiously for several years until finally I was like, you know what? That was a one-shot deal where you're going to see this discovery and we're never going to see it again. And to this day, if you go on the DJ Expo website where they try to promote their show, they're going to say past performances include, and Lady Gaga is going to be on the very top. Because they're still playing that tune, man. After all these years, it's their golden oldie. Nothing quite that cool I think has happened since. So anyway,
yeah.
How about you, John?
Well, a lot of the unusual things happened because we spent so much time at the Vegas shows. And one of the memories that gets brought up in our circle of friends with some of our immediate is when we were down in Vegas, and in the evenings in the early days when we were younger, the show would be over at 6 or 7 or whatever time it was in the evening, and then we would go walk the strip. And there would be groups of 15 to 20 of us walking the strip. And we got into a night where we were walking the strip, and Bill Herman, which a lot of you know, Bill Herman, he was walking with us, and he bets my wife, Lori, to go do something. He's like, I'll give you $1 to go do this, whatever it was. Daring her to go, do this, do that, touch this or whatever. Well, as she's doing these weird things, and the joke, we get to this place where there was a lounge singer up on the stage, and he's like, I'll give you $1 if you go up there and go up on the stage with her. There she goes. The next thing you know, she's up on the stage there, and she's singing a song with the lounge singer up there in her band up on the stage, and of course, for those of us who were in the crowd, it was good humor, and she made her $1. So it was fun. And for those of you who will be in at DJ Expo, Lori's actually going to be with us with Michael and I. So she will be
I'll
there.
bring singles.
Yeah, exactly.
Lori, you want $1?
But that will be she'll be with us Tuesday night at the Chill event, which we'll be doing over at the Irish Pub this year. So
I'll just say it on the record. John is a good friend. I like John a lot. We've gotten really close over the years, but Lori's better. I love Lori. Yeah. I don't see her much, but I just love that girl. She is so cool. And I wouldn't say that if I didn't think it. I know guys who have wives and they're fine, and you're like, yeah, she's nice, but no, I really like Lori. She's really cool.
Yeah, she's the charming one of the two of us, that's for sure.
Yeah. She's somebody you want to hang out with, and you know that something's gonna happen. As Bill Herman discovered with
yeah, I mean, it was like, there was, the stay off sign, no walking on the grass. It was like, I'll bet you $1 to go walk across, and she did.
Right.
Right. Any of those kind of, yeah. It's like, oh, she's not going to do this. When is she? Oh yeah, there she goes. We got quite a few people coming on Facebook and such. Thank you guys for being with us. In the chat up above is the link to the YouTube video where we're kind of watching that chat where Reggie and Scott and Jimmy and Jesse and Peter and a lot of other folks are with us tonight. So thank you for being with us this evening. No, Howie is not going to make it rain. It's not going to be raining at our Tuesday night event this year.
I'm bringing singles.
Jimmy, Jimmy's going to make it rain that way. Jimmy's actually been talking about the forecast for next week, and he's been worried about having enough plastic around to protect his gear from rain.
We've been there and done that, and it's all worked out.
It worked out last year, and then we'll be ready.
He's been looking at the weather for 3 weeks.
He probably has.
Oh, he has.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say it. I don't, because it was just a thought that popped in my head, and then it kind of popped right out of my head, and I'm like, God, just don't say anything. Don't say anything. But you know what? I've got Tourette's. I have to. I was thinking about bringing a flash drive, and maybe for the first time
Why not?
at a convention ever, go ahead and spin a little bit.
No.
I've never done it. And the reason I've never done it is because I hate spinning in front of other DJs. It's
That's
the
what
worst.
everybody says.
No, Shani loves it. She can't wait to get in front of people and flips like that too.
Yeah, some people.
I'm not that guy. I don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
At a party or whatever, I've done it, where no one's paying attention. I've done it, but if I'm like, and I'm not saying I'm going to, but I might bring a flash drive.
I think that doing something where you take like 10 of your favorites type of thing and treat it almost like a little bit of a radio show would be kind of cool. And it would be definitely a different thing because you're going to have my Michael, who's going to be doing a mix set. You're going to have MJ that's going to be doing a mix set and such. And Jimmy would be doing some mixing like that. So,
and Dan as well.
Yeah.
Dan's prepared with that.
There's one. Okay, if I'm going to do it, and I don't have like this rider or anything, so don't freak out on me. I don't want to.
Already got your rider. I got you 4 bottles of 40 ounces of those.
That's a start. That's a start. Okay, that's a start. But what I do need, and this is just like I only have one hand kind of thing. I need a mic in front of me while I'm using a controller.
Jimmy will need a.
So I can't talk in the mic,
stand.
set it down, and then press play. That's lame. So like a gooseneck or something where I can talk into the mic as I'm doing things down here. If that makes any sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that can happen.
Because I'm the complete opposite of an octopus. I'm a unipus.
Alrighty, I'll leave it right there.
We'll not touch that one. I don't know.
Yep.
There's no way that sounds good. We're going to circle back to our discussion before the cameras went live.
Before I forget, Pete the hubcap dude, 65 Mustang 14-inch spinner. I'm just throwing it out there. I could use a spare. If you got a spoke set, hey, let's talk.
For those of you who do not know, if you're driving from Philadelphia to Atlantic City and you take one of the routes, there is this Christmas tree made out of hubcaps. And that is Pete the Hubcap dude's year-round Christmas display, for lack of a better way, made out of hubcaps that he's found over the years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he finds them because he's a jitney driver. So he gets them all. And you know how the jitneys are. They stop every block just about.
Right. So if he sees one, he just grabs it.
Excuse me, Can you guys just wait? I got to go grab this hubcap over.
Yeah. That's cool. And it's just those. I would tell stories about driving around or riding around with Pete, but I don't remember most of them. Those were crazy nights.
Mm-hmm.
There are pictures, so it happened, and it's not like I was drinking or anything. It was just
so much.
Nutty.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything around you was nutty. And usually that's when you like put a quarter in Jay, and
and off he goes.
Over.
Oh yeah, he goes. Howie, how about yourself? What kind of memories have you had that stand out from past shows?
I have several, but I have a repeating one that that never gets old. And when when Brian and I might be out on the patio or something, just hanging out, and people that see us on these shows or watch the YouTube videos actually came up and said, "Hey, I really like that idea of yours, and I tried it out, and it works, and it's been making me money. Thank you so much." And I saw that repeatedly with Brian, the people coming up, and it makes it all worth it, after doing these sort of shows. That was just like, wow. And then just putting a face to the name that we see in the comment section. That was really, really special to me. I just really, really enjoy that, when somebody really appreciates what's going on.
John, do you get approached at shows? Oh, you're the Disc Jockey News guy.
Yeah, you certainly do, and it's, as Howie said, it's really kind of cool to get to put that name and face together, because there's and as we've mentioned this before, is some people we met a couple of times, and then when you see them live, you're like, okay, I recognize them, but I don't have the name and the face put together because we haven't had that much engagement and such. So it's like when you come up and see me at the show, just assume that I can't remember your name because I'm old and forgetful.
Exactly. And if you're the type of person that in the chat room you use your business name, and then you come up and say, "Hi, my name's Joe," I'm like, "Hi, Joe."
Yeah, there's too many weird names out there, especially on YouTube.
Yeah. So yeah, but
4, 5, 7, 12. Whatever. It's like, okay.
Yeah, feel free to, say hello. I know at the Chill event last year, someone was there early and they had a DMX question on the software I was using. And I was able to show them before we started, how to repair theirs. And boy, they just were so appreciative of that, they offered to buy me a big basket of French fries.
Wow.
Anyone talk about my fries last year? Anyone talk about my fries?
Yeah, they did look a little bit on the cold and droopy side.
Speaking of fries and rain and cold fries, are we going to attempt to broadcast live from this thing again?
We are going to be broadcasting live. We're actually going to be trying to send out 2 broadcasts. We're going to send the DJ booth area out to Chew, our chew.tv/Disc Jockey News channel. And then we will be going live. You and I, Brian, will be doing our little segment from the patio area somewhere, hopefully. We'll find
at 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
right?
Maybe, we're getting 9 o'clock if,
That's early. 10 o'clock East Coast.
Yeah. We'll see what time it becomes, when we get there and things get
we'll have the step and repeat set up at 6 o'clock. So whatever time you guys want to do it, same deal.
Hubcap Pyramid.
It's a neat event. It's a pretty new event. It was really grassroots because we just would go there. I don't know who started it. I wish I did, but somebody just said, "We'll meet here at the Irish pub and we're doing a thing." It was just Jockey News Crew. That was what it was.
Yep. Howie and the crew, they kind of lined it up.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden last year it was like, let's take it over, because we were already doing it.
Yeah,
we had all these tables inside, but we didn't have But then I discovered there's a patio in this place. Wow.
Yeah,
and it was cool because a lot of people came to this event that I was surprised came. That in the industry, and just say hi,
And the ones that I talked with, they really enjoyed it, because the most common thing that was said to me was, "Wow, after being on the floor all day, I'm talking about vendors. They were like, this is nice that I can talk to you without shouting. My ears are still ringing." So
now my experience at these shows and is different than a lot of people's experience at these shows. I will say that this year I want to do a better job of my hosting skills at this event, because what happens is you get busy and then there's somebody who you said hi to, and you said, yeah, I'll come and talk to you, and then you don't
Yeah, you
because
just
you
can't
got
get
thrown on
around.
this other
Yeah.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make a real concerted effort this year. I was Glenn and Nick and Nick's wife Britt from Promo Only were there. They came in, they said hi, and I'm like, I'll be right there, and I never came back.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, to this day, I feel anguish about that. And it's stupid, but I do. So
Yeah.
I mean, they don't care. I didn't think anything of it, but I want to really make an effort to make sure that I'm a better host this year. It's hard. It's very hard, and I'm
It is
trying.
hard. There's, so many people, so many things to do. And then what happened to us last year? It was, hey, Ben says, hey, you want to go to the Hard Rock for a burger with us? Yeah, sure. We all wound up there.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was fun. And the funnel cakes were funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ben bought the funnel cake and he said, take a picture of me, How, and send it to John. Yeah, I guess you guys have a funnel cake thing or something.
Now that was the first time NLFX invited me to anything they did.
Mhm.
Because usually after the shows, Ben and the crew, I don't know if they go back to their cave or what they do. It's just a different culture within NLFX.
Yeah, they go back and
keep to
kind of
themselves.
veg out and
They keep to themselves. You don't see them at parties. You don't see them out to eat or anything else.
Mhm.
But last year, Ben's like, let's go get a burger. And I'm like, wow. Yeah, let's go get a burger. It was really cool.
And we went to Boardwalk and that is the Last Supper, I guess. So
That was Wednesday night.
Yeah. No, I mean the Last Supper. He's not doing shows anymore, right, John?
Correct. Yeah, he won't be doing.
Ben's done.
Ben's not going to be doing DJ conventions, so we won't see him next week.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So we had the Last Burgers.
You had the last burgers he's going to have in Atlantic City, possibly for surely the foreseeable, but it could be forever. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a different show without Ben there.
Yeah, there will be a different flavor to the show this year because there's going to be a few companies that we are used to seeing and such that just aren't there anymore. And
wow.
Every year that list has gotten to be just a little bit longer. Granted, there's been some companies coming in that we will see a couple of new ones this year, but it's just the evolution of the industry.
Yeah. It's changing. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that we've been on a really good ride for the last 15 years with a lot of these companies really catering to us and making things specifically for us in a big way. And a lot of the bigger guys have moved on to other things or are focusing on other things where these little companies are popping up though, making some neat stuff.
They are.
And I think the general DJ public tends to dismiss them because they're a small booth or whatever. But look at these little booths. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're gonna have a guy who's got a widget you don't care, but there's a lot of good stuff in those little booths too.
Well, I can name, for instance, something that's a big sensation that had a very small booth is the Maui 5 Goes. That was a small booth, and I don't. Was that thing actually geared towards us, or was that for somebody else? Because boy,
I've never spoken to the person. I mean, that's
that thing hit big.
LD's German, and Adam Hall Group handles them here in the States. That's Johnny Dive and the boys over there, and I believe that its original intended purpose, I think it was for street performers.
Yep. Yeah.
Like
musicians, like a single
buskers,
a guy with a guitar or a keyboard.
Kind of Subway.
Yep.
So here we are, full circle to back to the old days where we're adopting something else for DJ use.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, okay. You know how I found out about it? I'd heard some people mention the name, but I dismissed it. I was like, whatever. And I made a post on Facebook. I said, hey, I'm looking for a battery-powered ceremony speaker. Does anybody have any ideas out there? Mm-hmm. And I got a message from Jeffrey Kwan at Canal Sound and Light. Says, you need to look at the Maui 5 Go. That's your piece.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey, if you don't know Jeffrey, he is one of the nicest guys in this industry. He is.
I mean, if you've ever been in his shop everybody is so nice and friendly there.
Nice.
Jeffrey, usually when you talk to a retailer, you think, okay, he's a busy guy. He doesn't want to chit chat with me. Hey, I need this. What's the price? Like, oh, it's this price. Oh, but we're running out of stock. So Jeffrey's is very different. Hey, Jeffrey. Hey, how are you? What's going on? How's the weather where you live? How are your kids? Tell me about that car you're working on.
Yeah.
He'll talk to you for 30 minutes before you get to the thing. But he cares. He's not just doing it to sell you. That's who Jeffrey is, and I like that about him a lot.
Another thing you see is that Jeffrey's with us tonight, watching on Facebook.
Get out of here.
Yeah, he comes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Jeffrey, he doesn't get to see that chat. I'm the only one who could see that chat to know that you were with us tonight. So.
Oh, cool. Well, Jeffrey, I think a lot of you, brother, and I can't wait to see you next week.
Gee, look at that. We didn't even know he was there. We're talking nice about him.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's just blowing sunshine up Jeffrey's butt. No, I didn't know he was here.
I didn't say it, and I know for sure that the two of you wouldn't see it because you wouldn't know which Facebook when he's on.
We were talking about Ben, and I didn't particularly say anything loving about him. I mean, I like Ben. Well, yeah, he bought me a burger. That was nice.
Yeah, that was funny. And then you guys had the funnel cake thing going on, that you did.
The funnel cake was fun.
That was for Ben. That would be a very touching moment, sharing a funnel cake experience.
Yeah,
not that he would share the funnel cake, but he shared the funnel cake experience.
Yeah,
I vaguely remember the funnel cake, but I remember the burgers. I remember going.
Oh my gosh, they were good.
Cafe or whatever. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I guess I've been so involved with my personal projects this summer, and just I don't know. I was really putting it off and kind of dreading it. I really didn't feel like anything really great happened at Mobile Bee last year. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going. I got to buy a ticket. I got to go. I got to do this. Kind of begrudgingly took care of it this weekend. And just today, just the interactions I've had with people and realizing who's going to be there and some of the cool things that it looks like we'll be bringing to the channel very soon from some new companies. It's exciting. So I'm all pumped up now. I want to go. I'm looking forward to it.
Nice.
I'm not walking into the unknown. I'm walking into very friendly. There's going to be good stuff here that is going to be good for everybody, and we should have a good show. I'm tired of carrying this guy. Say something.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to Tuesday, because we have some surprises and some things we haven't done before. Considering that it was like, what was it, 40 of us got together the first year and all we did was eat inside.
Yeah.
And now we're doing, music and lighting and live shows from there now. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Did we talk about the after party on camera? Or we're only talking about that before we went live?
I don't know what.
Well, no, there's a DJ takeover after our event.
Oh yeah, no, that was before we went live.
Yeah, we didn't. Talk
Okay,
about that
yeah, I think it runs from like 11 to 4 a.m.
Ooh.
And it's at Scores at Hard Rock. And we've done this party before. I've done it, and yeah, I know Scores is a gentleman's club, but it's not a gentleman's club on Thursday night. It's
or Tuesday
it's
night
for us.
Oh, so it'd be just like a lounge type thing. With
Yeah.
Or something.
Scores is cool because it's got an indoor spot and an outdoor spot, and it's like a big balcony thing.
So I don't need to bring singles for that party.
No, not
No, only for when you see Lori. So the way they have it set up is they actually have, I think, a DJ performing inside, but it's not one of our people. But outside, it's the takeover, and it's like, it's their version of the takeover, I guess.
Excellent.
And it's just DJs. I don't know, from Pioneer or from wherever, getting up there and spinning. I am obviously not involved with that, but I'd like to go. And I just talked to Jason over at JMAS. I guess he's doing the lighting for the show. So if anybody's interested in some of that stuff and you want to see it in action, Jason's going to have that all set up for us on Thursday at Scores. Or Wednesday morning, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, probably more Wednesday.
I'll sleep when I get home.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to break down my equipment real fast so I get there.
Yeah.
Time.
Oh, you don't got to be there at 11. It runs till 4, so you're
Yeah,
good.
there's a window.
You can take your time. You don't got to be there at 11. So, yeah, it's a fun party. So, I mean, I've even done that party in the rain before, and it was still fun. So we would all kind of get under the awning by the bar, and everybody would talk, and yeah, I've had really good experiences there. It's a really good place to network and meet people and talk, and just kind of off the show floor. It's a nice opportunity to do something different, and it's not incredibly stupid loud where you can't hear yourself think. So that's going on after our thing.
Excellent.
Nice.
And I think there's something else going on somewhere else that's supposed to be the replacement for what used to be the Big House of Blues show, and that's not happening. I mean, it is happening, but nobody goes to that. So all the cool kids go to Scores.
I did not know they had a Scores in there. I know there's a White House sub in there.
It's way in the back. It's actually it's upstairs, and it's above Hard Rock, the old Hard Rock restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Remember where the Hard Rock restaurant used to be?
Mm-hmm.
You go up the escalators, and it's back there. And the manager of that place is the cousin of Jay Brennan's wife.
Wow.
That's something they just discovered there. So it's not like something that he always knew about. It was a cousin that he'd met 20 years ago, and then he's at the show, and he said, "Well, do I know you?" And it come to find out it's the cousin. So, yeah, I think that's how that whole thing started, actually, because Jay had a connection there.
So we may see Jay and Christian.
Oh, we'll definitely see Jay. Pioneer DJ is going to be one of the sponsors.
Excellent.
As Jay Maz, and there were some others I don't remember who I saw on the flyer, but those are the two that stood out. Will be sponsored, probably promo only. I don't recall. I'd have to look at the flyer again. Here, give me a second. I will, if anybody cares who the sponsors are, because I did have this information earlier.
But yeah, there's a few different things going on Tuesday night. Obviously, our thing. There's a Bose event that's going on. BPM Supreme has got something going on, and they could all be intermingled, what have you, to a point.
What does Bose have going on?
Shanie's going to be spinning at Bose. I think their event starts at 9 o'clock, and she spins at 10. I want to say is what kind of numbers I heard from her last night.
The party at 9, and Shani starts spinning at 10.
Is that on property?
Yes.
Yes, I think it is. Yeah.
Okay. What night is that?
Tuesday night. Tuesday nights become really busy.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. It's Jamaz Lighting Jetpack.
Backpacks.
Is okay.
Tone and the crew with that do the very nice DJ backpacks, and you can have your logo embroidered on them. And they look
418.
418.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Pioneer DJ and Daily Motion. Yeah. Interesting. So yeah, that's the Hard Rock Casino Scores. This is where it used to be. 1000 Boardwalk. Located in Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Yep. So that's what's going on there.
So it's easy enough then. You just get a jitney. They're running
everywhere, yeah.
Around the clock. I mean,
it's way in the back. I mean, when you go, like, if you get dropped off, if you're on the boardwalk, you can like walk in, go up the escalator, go to Scores. But if you get dropped off in the front, you got to do the walk of death to the back of Hard Rock. Yeah.
So yeah, Tuesday then PV is doing their party from 6:30 to 8:30, and then the Bose party kicks in an hour later. So there's roughly an hour of downtime on Tuesday.
Stuff going on.
Yeah.
And we're the kind ones who try to look for an opportunity to do something where we're not stepping on anyone.
Yeah, and it's just unfortunately there's just so many things going on, and you can't be
everybody.
Yeah, you can't
be everywhere. I don't go for the place with the biggest crowd. I go for the place with the coolest kids. That's what I like to do. So I really enjoy our event, and the Scores event was wonderful when I went last time. Yeah, it was really, really, like, I got a really nice memory from last time I went to that one. It was good times. I was outside. I was talking to these guys from Boston, and they were kind, they're very East Coast,
Mm-hmm.
you know the type. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then they go off and say something, then I'd interject into the conversation, and they'd be like, "What's this guy?" Okay, yeah, fine, whatever. And we talk a little bit, and they talk. raining, and this went on for probably half an hour. And the guys are like, "Yeah, well, we're gonna go now." I said, "Okay, yeah, here, let me give you my card." They look at the card, and they're like, "You're Brian S. Red?" Yeah. Who'd you think you were talking to? Well, you changed your hair. And I had. It was like on the card, it's the picture they used to sing,
Sure.
And they start freaking out. And then I'm their best friend. And then they have to go get another guy. And it just became this thing, and it was really cool. I remember that. That was fun. That was really fun. And it happens like that sometimes. Jimmy J. Rock Reed and his pal Danny. I ran into Jimmy one night, and I said, "Hey, man, you want to get some dinner?" He's like, "I got plans with Danny to go to dinner. You want to go with Danny and I?" I'm like, "Sure." So we get in Danny's truck, and we go completely on the other side of the AC. It's by the water. It's like right, but it's on the other side of AC. And we pull up to this place, and it's a soul food restaurant, like real, the real deal, So we go in there and we sit down, and we look at the menu, and I'm, like, oh man, look at this stuff. And I'm familiar with a lot of it because I don't know. I think white people without a lot of money who lived in Indiana back in the day ate soul food and I didn't even know it because it was all stuff that I knew.
Yeah.
And so they ordered whatever they ordered. It was like pretty normal stuff, And I'm thinking, I'm at a soul food restaurant. I said, I said, "Is everything on this menu safe? I mean, is it done right?" Like, and she said, oh yeah, that's why we're here. Like, all right, let's do it. I'm doing liver and onions. And they looked at me like, "Ooh, how can you eat that?" I'm like, "Dude, this is soul food." It was so good too, and I got it with the gravy and I got it with the mashed potatoes. Oh my God, it was so good. And they're looking at me like eating their relatively normal soul food thing. Like, damn, you really went for it. I'm like, yeah, I did. It was really good. It was really, really good. That was 2 years ago. I missed going for soul food. That was really good. It's the best meal you've had in Atlantic City.
The best meal.
The best food.
Of course, I should say that because of the whole White House sub thing, it would have to be that. But one of the nights is actually probably the very first time we went to the Irish pub. Is we ordered, and I don't remember. We had a couple of beverages beforehand, so I don't exactly remember what it was. But it was an Irish a meal or something that was known that they were known for. It was one of their top things, and it was absolutely fabulous.
The corned beef, cabbage.
I wonder if yes, cabbage was involved with it. Yes, so it must have been the corned beef and cabbage because that's about all I could remember. So there was cabbage. What was it? And it was like, and it didn't sound appealing, but we had a couple of the Smithwick's beers by that time. So it's and it was absolutely, and it probably could have been horrible, but maybe the beer made it good.
Better. The palate was right for it.
Exactly. I'm like, this was so good. So,
Carmine's is good.
I've heard that, and that might be a spot that we hit this year because Lori's not much of a sandwich person. Michael wasn't overly impressed with White House subs last year, and I guess I can't argue with him. He was.
No, Carmine's is worthwhile.
So Carmine's would be the next place I've heard a lot about, but I've never been to. So
yeah, it's good. It's a Tropicana, I think.
Try in the back of the Trop there.
Yeah, it's it's worthwhile. I've been there more than once, and I like that. But my favorite food in Atlantic City, and this is the ththing, like when I used to go in with the crew from ADJ, we'd all rent a van and then we were supposed to go to Atlantic City, but we wouldn't. We would screw off in Philly for hours.
Mm.
The big thing was to go to the Rocky statue, and then you had to go to Gino's for cheesesteaks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's that other place, Pat's, I think it's called, across the way.
Right. Pat's right across the corner. Yeah.
So you get, okay, well, you go get a Pat's, I'll get a Gino's, we'll cut it in half, we'll do a taste test or whatever. And I just, full disclosure here, they're fine. They're both fine. They're sandwiches. They're fine. But they're not like rocking my world sandwiches,
Right.
However, there used to be this trailer, like a food truck, but it was a food trailer on the boardwalk right outside of resorts. And this Korean lady, she had 3 of them in a row, and she did cheesesteaks. Best cheesesteak I've ever had in my life on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. Every year, I would take people there because they would hear my stories about the cheesesteaks. Say it can't be that good, B. And it was that good. It was so good.
They were probably using ribeye then. Sliced.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what she was using, but she was making the most amazing stuff. And after the hurricane, I never saw her again. Wiped her out, took the money and ran. But excuse me, really, really good. I miss those. I miss those cheesesteaks on the boardwalk. And I used to tell her, hey, look, we're gonna be done at about 2:00 in the morning. And okay, I'll stay up until 2:30 for you. And she would. So I would bring like a group out there.
Oh wow.
Jay Brandon was a big one who would go for that. She's back in the old days. It was Chris and Marshall, and then we would go get it. It was like goes back that far. Really good stuff. We just bring anybody. Hey, you hungry? Let's go. Because they were only like $5, but it was like wow, big old thing, and it was wonderful. And I used to get it with barbecue sauce. It's really good. So
well, I really enjoyed the Hard Rock hamburgers because I trust their reputation, and you can actually one of the very few places that I would trust that I can say, could I get it medium rare? And they cooked it that way. Most places they will cook a burger, they'll say, sorry, we have to cook it all the way through.
Well, yeah.
So when we're in Atlantic City and you see Owen, you have to ask him about Crafty Cow.
Crafty Cow.
Ask him about Crafty Cow.
I'll do that.
It's a spot that's right over here. Like we could walk to it from here.
Oh, in your neck of the woods. Okay.
And on my block. And you got to ask Owen about Crafty. Well, not my block, but it's down the street. You got to ask Owen about Crafty Cow.
Now I know what you're talking about.
Talk about some burgers. Man. Don't even got to leave town. I got to get my truck and just walk over there if I want to.
I was going to say, that's not the place that we went to where they were insulted when
the
girls
we went to
asked for...
This was before Crafty Cow was there. We went to the Rude Hipster Bar. This is more. This place was on the Food Channel.
Crafty Cow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's and the burgers are wonderful, but you go for the deep fried cheese curds because they John, next time you're in town, I'll take you to Crafty Cow.
We'll have to do
Anybody
that.
comes to town, we'll just go to Crafty Cow.
And not the rude hipster place where you ask for a straw.
Oh, we're not going back to Palomino's. We're going to Crafty Cow.
They looked at the girls like
Palomino's is good.
You're gonna kill.
I like the food at Palomino's.
Yeah, it was good food. Good food.
But Crafty Cow's better. It's much better. And more fun and right down the road, and it's in a very old like Palomino's was in like a bar from the 50s that was designed in
somewhere
the 50s,
in their ball.
you know? Crafty Cow feels like you're more like Horse and Buggy Days bar. I mean, it's legit. It's the old building, that's been there forever, and they just kind of, strip the wood down. It's still a tin ceiling. It's really good though. Really, really impressive. So I can't wait to show you this place. But yeah, Owen went multiple times. Once without me. I didn't even know it.
Oh wow!
Just snuck out and went.
So you like
Yeah, I'm gonna go out for a smoke. He's been gone for 45 minutes. Wonder where he.
Oh, they have a Wahlburgers over. Pete's saying they got a Wahlburgers over at the resorts now. The Wahlberg family, Mark and Donnie and them.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be good. They're opening a Wahlburgers here in Milwaukee too.
Yeah, we've eaten at the one in Vegas a couple of times, and they are. It's a very good sandwich.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. I don't know though, man. Crafty Cow's different. But enough about the great food of my neighborhood. Looking forward to seeing you all next week in Atlantic City. Those of you who are going, and those of you who aren't going, you can watch the broadcast.
You'll get to catch up, with our live broadcast from the party. You'll be able to have one window open with Chew and watching the DJ going, and then you'll have the second window open with Brian and myself and whoever else we can grab to jump in there with us. And we will have microphones set up properly this year. So first off, it won't be one in one ear and one in the other.
Right.
And we're not going to use the battery device so that we've got a 42-minute time limit, and they're dead.
And we will make sure that we have a microphone and a boom or a gooseneck for you, Brian.
I'm not saying I'm gonna do this. I'm just saying
I know you did. I'm just saying I'm going to be prepared. I'm a Boy Scout. You know?
If you happen to have something like that laying around, that would make it happen.
Can you get that?
I could happen to have it laying around.
The big, the big headset, so he can, do the Garth Brooks thing.
Oh no, I don't do the Countryman. It's
No.
Big one.
don't do that. I don't do Countryman's. I usually do like a gooseneck, and then it's the mic, and then I'll have the headphones on one ear, open one ear not.
I'm just saying I'll even have a microphone that you're familiar with and know how to use.
Oh, it can be wired. I don't care at that point. I'm not going anywhere. I'm standing like that. That's in 50 years.
I'm making an inside joke.
I think,
everybody.
yeah.
That's it. We both have. He turned me on to a wireless mic system, and I love it. I have two of them.
Well, I got no problem using the mic. It's a good mic. But no, I'll John's suggesting I do like my my geek out show where I just kind of play some tunes, and that might be interesting. Maybe I can come up with like a what do you think, John? Like a top 10?
I think something like that, because then you'd be able to talk a little bit about it, and because 20 minutes to a half an hour is going to be probably about max, because there's a few people that are rolling through. So
I'll bump them. You know who I am?
Let's
I mean, all due respect to these guys, but dude, if I'm doing a top 10, I'm doing a top 10.
Yeah, but
wait.
Were they going to want to see you up there spinning or Rachel Lynch up there spinning?
I'm better than Rachel Lynch.
You probably, you maybe not.
I don't mean to be that guy, but I got to step up and tell you, I'm better than Rachel Lynch.
But
I'm better than Meryl
kind
Lynch.
of a big deal. That's what
I'm better than David Lynch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't even have to go up. But I mean, there were an opportunity.
Saying we're going to be prepared.
Yeah. Funny. Well, gentlemen, I think let's wrap it up here and such, because I'm going to go in and get the kids headed on into bed. So, thank you guys for being with us. We had a really nice crowd. I think I saw a peak of about 75 here at one time with the different channels. So yeah, and Big Daddy Howie, wanted to give you a shout out.
Love that man.
So he was watching on one of the channels, and I'm not sure which one because he private messaged me.
Sean?
So. What's that? Sean, yeah. Sean McKee.
Sean? Yeah.
Yep,
Sean,
Sean McKee was on one of the channels. I don't know which one he was watching, but
Cool.
We'll get to see Big Daddy next week. If you have not met Big Daddy, you are missing out. And next week, you need to take time to do just that. And again, when you see us in the hallway, come on up, say hi, and don't be afraid to introduce yourself. That is a better.
Yeah, please. And especially at the chill event, feel free to come up and talk to us. If you have any DMX questions, come up to me. I'll be doing the lighting. And if you want to come early, I can certainly help you out if you're having trouble with your own system.
Yeah, and if you have DMX questions, you could ask me, and I would be just as confused or more confused than you.
You can usually spot me from behind because I'm the guy who's limping really bad.
Well, gentlemen, thank you much, Brian, Howie, and thank you for being with us, and we'll see you next week, everybody. Good night.
Good night.